Hello and welcome to Crossover Sports. I'm Sam Egan along with Jake O'Brien, and we have a great show for you today. On today's show, we'll be discussing the MLB pennant race along with the upcoming postseason. Followed by that, we'll be discussing the upcoming NFL season. Then after that, we got a chance to talk with some RB athletes and discuss their football season. And finally, we'll be doing our hot takes for the MLB season. So Jake, you want to get us started with the MLB playoffs?
It's close. It really is. And so I'm going to start off with the NL wildcard race, and that...
Because that's been the best race by far.
Oh yeah, easily. Padres are... Everyone thought they were going to run away with it and easily get a wild card.
At least, yeah. Because everyone was them and Dodgers for the division.
I mean, the Dodgers, they're a favorite for sure. I mean, their team is stacked. But the Giants, just out of nowhere.
They came out of nowhere. Fountain of Youth, Buster Posey, Brandon Crawford, they both made big resurgences in their careers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, easily. And, I mean, they didn't even make many moves besides...
Chris Bryant?
Yeah, at the trade deadline. And, I mean, like you said, Posey's just... I mean, in my opinion, he should have a case for AL MVP.
For sure.
Yeah.
NL MVP, yeah.
Or NL MVP, my bad. But people
He's definitely become one of the best catchers in baseball again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, with the bats, too. I mean, that team is just...
And their pitching has been phenomenal. It's been the best part of their game by far. Going back to the Padres, they made all these moves, Yu Darvish, Blake Snell, and they bolstered up on that pitching.
Yeah.
And they didn't really... Snell's been underwhelming. Darvish has been great for them.
And they also got Cronenworth, who's been pretty good. And, I mean, but... It's just...
They made a lot of moves, and they're making a lot of moves where I don't know where this money's coming from, and they just aren't producing. You think there's a reason why?
Oh, I mean,
it's coaching?
I'd say it's everything. I mean, like, coaching schedule is very tough, being in the best division in baseball by far.
100%.
And, I mean, it's just like injuries. I mean, Tatis was injured for a little bit, and then, I mean, it's just... You have to. It's a long season, so you just have to make sure you stay intact for that whole year.
I mean, transition to the AL. I mean, you look at the team like the White Sox. They had a bunch of injuries all year.
Oh, yeah.
Eloy Jimenez, Luis Robert, Yasmani
Eloy
Grandal,
getting hurt in
spring training.
Yeah, in spring
they
training.
They were all out for extended periods of time, and their roster is just so deep.
It is. It really
is.
They
just they stand out as a team that could make that World Series because of how deep their team is.
Yeah, and their pitching is I'd say it's the best in the
rotation
league.
In baseball?
Yeah, I mean
them or the Dodgers for sure.
And I mean, my Cy Young choice for AL is for sure Lance Lynn.
Oh, 1,000%.
Like no doubt, he's so good. And then, and they're closed. Like I mean, they have two great closers in now Kimbrel and Hendricks, and they also have these young relievers with Kopech and Crochet, who are just lights out.
Yeah, lights out. And then, I mean, you transition to the AL East. The Rays, the Red Sox were up a bunch towards the start of the season. Then after the All-Star break, the Rays started to click.
Oh, yeah.
Their roster has been, they always seem to find a way.
Oh, yeah. They're always under the radar and just come out of nowhere.
It's like, you look at their roster and on paper, it doesn't look that great. And
it
then
really doesn't.
They just find a way.
Yeah.
And if you look at that AL wildcard race, I mean, you got the Yankees, you got the Red Sox, who have both been struggling. After the Yankees caught fire after the trade deadline.
Oh my gosh, literally caught fire.
But now, another team in the division, the Blue Jays, have caught fire. And now they're within a game and a half of the Yankees.
I mean, Robbie Ray, he had the best month by a pitcher, I think, all year. I mean, he only went 1-0, but that wins and losses for a starting pitcher really don't matter anymore.
No,
in my opinion. It's more ERA, yeah. And he had, I think, a below 2 ERA all month, which is just helpful because the Rays pitching has been somewhat dicey.
Oh, for sure.
Or the Blue Jays. And,
their pitching's been...
But their hitting has been just consistent all year.
And we'll get to our predictions later, but, I mean, the Mariners have a shot, the Blue Jays have the shot, so...
The Mariners,
the wild card race is going to be out of nowhere, and we'll get to those predictions in a little bit. Now let's get to the NFL.
Yeah.
Season starts tonight.
Yes. As we're filming this, it's a couple hours away.
You got 5 rookie quarterbacks, and who do you think is going to be the biggest impact this year?
Honestly, I hate to be biased, but I think Justin Fields, once he gets in, I think he's
got the most raw talent, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't trust Wilson with the Jets. I'm sorry, but the Jets are just
Trevor Lawrence, we'll see with him.
Oh, Lawrence is just very. I mean, he's in a solid situation, but I don't think Urban Meyer.
I don't have faith in Urban Meyer.
I don't either. I really don't, because I mean, it's just I don't think he's a professional coach. I really don't think so.
I think he's more of a college coach.
Oh yeah.
I think either Fields or Trey Lance will make a big adjustment.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you could say Mac Jones now because he's starting.
Belichick. We'll see. We'll see how if Belichick needed Brady or not.
Oh yeah.
And
because they made a lot of moves.
They made a lot of moves for sure. Your preseason MVP. Who are you thinking?
Preseason MVP? I'd say. I mean, I hate to say it again, but I mean either Fields or Wilson.
For MVP?
For preseason or you're saying
MVP, not rookie of the year.
Okay. I'd say preseason. I'd give it to this is a sleeper. This is a sleeper, but I think Derrick Henry's got a chance.
That's a good choice.
I think Derrick Henry's got a chance.
I think he's got a shot, but I think Josh Allen has. I think he might do it.
Honestly, with Josh Allen, I don't know if he can continue his hot streak, because I mean he's
got the receivers to do it.
Oh yeah. Well, now he does, yes. But I mean, he had that one great year, yes, and he has crazy arm talent and is athletic, but it's just 1 year that he's done it. I feel like people have been too high up on him. You got to give him still time. Because, I mean, Dak, remember when Dak had that great year, his rookie or sophomore year, and, I mean, he kind of slowed down after that, even though he's very good now. But he took a couple of years to decrease, and then now he's back up. Now,
one more thing before we go to commercial, your preseason Super Bowl.
Preseason Super Bowl? I'd say Bucks are in it again, and I really don't want to go Bucks Chiefs again, but I think the Chiefs.
You think the Chiefs are too good?
Yeah.
Now, Tom Brady's a great quarterback, and I don't want to get that mistaken, but the Rams defense, and now they finally have a quarterback. I think their roster top to bottom is too stacked.
If you think about it, that's
I think I got the
true.
Rams coming out of the NFC, and out of the AFC, I think Josh Allen's going to take that next step.
Wow,
and I think it's going to be the Bills, so I got Rams-Bills.
I'd say that's even a hot take.
It could be a hot take.
But, yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with the Rams because their defense is just insane. I mean, best in the league
for sure.
And I mean, Matthew Stafford's great.
So that'll do it for this segment. We'll be right back after this commercial break to discuss RB Sports. Welcome back to Crossover Sports. We begin our next segment talking about RB Sports. So Jake, let's get into that epic football game.
Oh my gosh, it was a crazy finish. I mean, I'll just start off. Matt Novak, 49-yard field goal.
From a high school kid, from anyone, that's an insane kick.
Yeah, I mean, to end the game, he got iced. And
they were down 1 to hit that kick to win the game. That may want to be the more impressive things I have ever seen.
Oh my God, cold-blooded, absolutely cold-blooded.
And rivalry game, with all the aspects. That's probably the best high school play I've ever seen in any high school game that I've at least been at.
Yes, I agree. I mean, crazy finish, literally buzzer beater. I mean, last play of the game. And, I mean, it was a great game. It was a
great
really
game, but it really shouldn't have been that close. RB has a bunch of talent at the receiving end. Quarterback, we'll see if they keep with TJ Sloan or Diego Gutierrez, but Diego did get hurt, and another big injury to that O-line, Philly Vizana, who tore his ACL.
Yeah, horrible. I mean, I hope a fast recovery for him, but that offensive line is, I mean, they looked pretty good against Morton.
They looked pretty good against Morton. Morton's a big team, too.
Oh, yeah, they're very big, and I mean, TJ Sloan, he had a great game.
Now,
he really did.
He played great, was very accurate, found Brady Vaya a lot. And the defense looked good that first half, but they got a thin team, and they seem to run out of gas.
Yeah, they do run out of gas, and I mean, it showed. They were up 20-0, and just Morton started inching back into it, and then what do you know? They're up by 1 with a couple minutes left.
And a big play in the defensive end was they had a touchdown, scoop and score by Marcus Turner. That was a big play in that game. It seemed like, RB's going to run away with it after that play because Morton's offense wasn't going anywhere. Then they started running the ball, and they just tired out that RB defense. And they play a tough Wakanda team. They have a high-powered offense. We'll see how the defense does, and we'll see what the offense can do. Can the offense start to figure it out, or will they struggle against the Wakanda team? Well, Jake, I had a chance to talk to some of the players. So let's cut to those interviews and see what they had to say about last week's game and their upcoming season. All right, Marcus, you had your first varsity touchdown in your first varsity game in a rivalry game. What does that mean to you?
It was awesome. It felt amazing. Once I seen the ball on the ground, I just went and picked it up, open field, touchdown.
When you picked that ball up and went in the end zone, you kind of slipped in the end zone. What was the reason behind that celebration?
When I got to the end zone, I slipped a little bit, was on the ground, I slid, tried to play it off, and yeah, it just happened.
You had a great defensive game. Now you're playing a high-powered offense in Wakanda who won 69-0 last week. How do you feed off of last week into this week?
Take them like any other team. Don't take them for granted. Don't think they're too big or too small. Take them like they're any other team and try to come out and have a better game.
All right, thank you, Marcus.
All right, thank you.
All right, Brady, you had a big game on the receiving end. Huge jump from this year to last year, and you're a key part of this offense. What was your biggest jump from last year to this year?
I think my strength and speed is. I feel like I got a lot bigger, faster, stronger than last year, and that helps a lot with getting open and yards after the catch.
You were getting open seemingly all game last week. You had so many catches. What was behind that? Is it a connection with TJ, or is it just you getting better as a football player?
I think it's a connection. I mean, we do this every single day in practice, so the chemistry's building. We're getting stronger each day. And I think just doing it over and over again, it just shows that we can keep doing it on game day.
All right, thanks, Brady.
No problem.
All right, Matt, player of the game last week. You make a 49-yard field goal. Walk me through that kick. They tried icing you. You missed the first one. Then you make this 49-yard field goal. Walk me through that kick.
Well, I was feeling very confident. Before the game, I was kicking them, and, the leg felt good. So, yeah, Coach told me I was going out there for the game winner, and really nothing was going through my mind. All I thought was, let's win it.
One of the most impressive moments in RB history, and you have that moment in a rivalry game. What does that mean to you?
Oh, that's awesome. It's the greatest moment of my life. Nothing else feels like that. It's especially being up here for a while now, being a senior on senior night, it was really something special.
Like you just said, you hit that kick on senior night. Was that probably the best moment of your football career?
Yes, easily.
And a kick that most high schoolers don't make, so it's been getting a lot of media attention. What's that media attention been like for you?
It's awesome. I've never really experienced anything like it before. All the tension, I enjoy it. It doesn't get old.
Does that pressure ever get to you?
No, not really. I'm confident, and I trust myself. I've been practicing. I know I could do it, so.
All right, how do you take a win like that in the next week against a tough Wakanda team?
I'm moving on. That was last week. Now I'm going to just do my best. I study Wakanda, and hopefully let's get the win.
All right, thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
All right, TJ, you had a heck of a game. You seem to be finding Brady all game. Was that just a connection you had, or is that just duo, or is it finding the open man?
I would say kind of both. I mean, Brady runs some great routes, and he got open a bunch of times, and that's just kind of my reads, and I kind of went through that process every play, and Brady just seemed to be finding it that day.
You did a great job of limiting turnovers. Why is that the biggest aspect of your game, and why is that so crucial for this team?
It's really crucial because, field position, and we'd rather punt and give them 60, 70 yards to work with rather than turning it over in our own red zone and only having 30, 20 yards to work with our defense.
You had a career-defining drive, obviously topped off by Matt's kick. Take me through that last drive.
Obviously having 21 unanswered points scored against us isn't ideal, but I just kind of thought, the game isn't over, we got a minute and a half left, and I just wanted to kind of lead our offense through that, and our guys did a great job of staying calm and doing the right thing under pressure.
Wakanda is a high-powered offense for sure. What's the game plan against them going into what should be a high-scoring affair?
Just banding together, stopping their high-powered run attack, and just doing what we did Friday night and finding the open man and working together.
All right, thanks, TJ. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Crossover Sports. We begin our last segment talking about our MLB postseason hot takes. So, Jake, we already got into the MLB postseason a little bit, talking about the pennant race.
Yeah.
So now let's get into our predictions for it, some hot takes. So, start us off.
My hot take is Rays winning the World Series. It's not a hot take,
but
it's not like a popular vote, I'd say, because Dodgers up there, Sox are up there. I wouldn't
Giants.
say Giants for sure.
And the Rays roster, like we said earlier, is not amazing on
It really
paper.
is. It's never really great. It's just they're always just
They always produce.
yeah, and they always just squeak through and just
So,
win.
who do you think the Rays play in the postseason? Are you thinking Dodgers? Are you thinking Giants?
Honestly, I'd say Giants. I don't know. It's just their depth and their experience.
I could see that because they have a lot of guys who've been there before.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, the Dodgers won it last year, so a lot of their guys were there last year. But like obviously, it was like a weird postseason. We'll see how they are in a normal postseason.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at it last year, they did 3-game wild cards where the Sox would have won a wild card, the Padres would have lost to the Cardinals in a wild card.
Yeah.
So that could have been a totally different
Oh
postseason
yeah,
if there was a
easily,
normal
easily.
format.
So what's your hot take?
Honestly, I don't know if the White Sox win the World Series is that big of a hot take.
I'd say they're a favorite to in the NL to get out of the NL to make it to the World Series, but I'd say the Dodgers are
And I mean,
easily the favorite. But
now this is the kind of a meh hot take. I'm like, if the Mets somehow did make it in postseason, I think they would beat the Dodgers in the wild card
yeah.
because of DeGrom. But that's not really necessarily a hot take for this. So, getting into my hot take, I think the Dodgers lose the first round of the Padres.
oh wow,
I think the Padres, they're gonna
click.
they're gonna get hot. They're
Yeah.
gonna click, and if they make it in there, I'm sorry, they beat them in the wild card. I'm sorry.
yeah,
Not the
not the first round.
not the first round.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I feel like Giants are winning that division.
Oh, I agree. I
think the Giants are gonna.
So
take
you
it.
think Padres are gonna beat the Reds?
I think they're gonna beat
for-
them out. Yeah, the Padres roster. I feel like they're too good not
Yeah,
to be in the postseason.
yeah.
And I feel like if Yu Darvish is on the mound, I feel like the Dodgers struggle against them.
Yeah, and there still is a lot of baseball.
there's a lot of baseball left,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of talent on that Padres team
for sure.
And I feel like you play them in a one-game playoff, you get the job done.
Yeah, especially with their pitching. I mean, I agree.
Now, nothing against the Dodgers. They have so much good pitching on their team, but it's who do you pitch in that game?
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I'd say it's
And their
Buehler.
bullpen isn't amazing
Oh
either.
no, it really hasn't been. But their starters, like Scherzer, Buehler. I'd say Buehler's their best pitcher on the team.
Oh, for sure.
And I mean Kershaw's slowing down, but he's still, one of
He's
the best
still an
pitchers.
elite pitcher, for
yeah,
sure.
I'd say he's up there for the Hall of Fame easily. And so I think that's a valid hot take. That I mean, it's very.
It's very bold.
Yeah,
but
it is very
bold.
bold.
Sometimes you gotta be bold on the show.
I respect that. For
All right.
sure.
Well, that'll do it for today's show. Thank you for watching Crossover Sports, and we will see you next time.